Hello everyone. Today I want to tell you about my cerebral palsy story. It's not the easiest to talk about as Karsha's not with us anymore. So I'll start with her birth story. I was in labour all night, hoping to go in my local small hospital to deliver. And so I went up the hospital when I thought, okay, contractions are close, everything's going good. I still had that little bit of movement. Let's go now, while it's good. I get to the hospital and they go, no, you're only 2 centimetres. We're sending you off to one of the bigger hospitals. 6:30 in the morning, in an ambulance, along the main highway, and it's as rough as guts. It was not fun. And by 10 o'clock, she still hadn't progressed. I was still only 2 centimetres dilated. And I'm telling them, just cut her out, just cut her out. I was over it. I'd had enough. I knew there was something wrong. Movement had slowed. And they were just ignoring me. 10:30 came. 9:30 I was telling them to cut her out. 10 o'clock came and said, yeah, okay, we'll cut her out now. And I was petrified. I'd never had an operation in my life. So Karsha's C-section was my very first operation. And I slept afterwards for basically 24 hours. I was there on my own with her. Her father told me I did speak to him that day, but I don't remember, so the anaesthetic must have been good. But the next day I was reading my file, and she was pronounced at 10:37. But she was there with me, so they revived her. And it explained how long it took for him to revive her, but they caught me reading my file and come and took it off me. So after that, I was just happy she was there. In her early stages of being a baby, she would always hold her fists like that, both of them, and I just could not get her to stretch her hands out, but I thought that was just her. I thought it was just something she did. But when she got to about 13, 14 months old, she wasn't sitting on her own. And I thought, this is a bit funny. So I got a referral for a paediatrician. And he sent us down to an even bigger hospital for a brain scan. And that came back that, yes, she had scarring on the brain. And she may never sit on her own. And that was scary. I didn't know anything about cerebral palsy. I was dumbfounded. I didn't know what to bloody do. But anyway, he said nothing will change with her. She is who she is. Won't shorten her life any. Yeah. So we believed him. Tried to do as much research on cerebral palsy as we could. But then she was about 2 or 3, and she was foaming at the mouth with a grand mal seizure. I was dumbfounded. I've had epilepsy, but I only had petit mals. Grand mals are the full-on shaky ones. And I rang the ambos and they took her to the medical centre. Yeah, lovely. And the doctor was bagging her breathing, and her stomach swelled, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to intervene because she was still alive. But the female ambo officer pushed him out of the road, let her stomach de-swell, and started giving her the right amount of oxygen for her. Once she was stabilised, we got sent to the hospital, which then they sent her out to yet a different big hospital, Townsville, and they were wonderful, except the fact that she was in ICU for 3 days with a induced coma. We didn't know if there was any long-term effects from this. We didn't know if she was going to come out of it. And trying to get into ICU, you're only allowed in when they want you. And she was like 2.5 years old. It was awful and scary. But Townsville did a wonderful job. They changed her paediatrician to an absolutely awesome doctor. He prescribed her epileptic meds. He got her, what do they call, physiotherapist, occupational therapist. He did wonders for Karsha, and Karsha loved her physio and occupational therapist. They were lovely ladies. And she had a couple of grand miles after that, but we sorted them out at the local hospital, which was awesome. She used to pull the drips out. That's how much she loved needles. Well, after that, she was just about to go and have her bloods taken for the meds check to make sure she had enough in her system, make sure she was getting enough as she was aging, because this was 5. She'd just started school, loved school, ran the cross country, took her shoes off, but ran the cross country. But also her new doctor, because we'd moved towns, had told her she needed laser treatment on her turned eye, and he was going to book that for us, and an orthopaedic surgeon, because the way she walked, her muscles were all tight, and that she'd need, her hips were deteriorating, she needed a full-on hip replacement. And he said that when she was in the room. He also said that there's a 50% chance that she may never walk again. She didn't seem to notice, but I think she did. On Mother's Day 2009, I had my last Mother's Day. She gave me a thing she made at school with a footprints and a handprints, saying someday we'll laugh about how small they are. Sorry. On Monday morning, her sister went to wake her up for school because I slept in. After Mother's Day, I had a big day. And she was gone. I relive that day over and over. It wasn't literally the cerebral palsy that took her. In the autopsy, it said that she'd had a really nasty epileptic fit and suffocated in her sleep. She was only 5.5 years old. Just started school. She loved being a preppy. She loved her teachers. She was probably the most popular kid in class. So yeah, this has gone on for 10 minutes now. But I did want to show you something the physios in Townsville did. They were awesome. This is an AFO. Don't ask me what it stands for. But we still have her foot. But all it does is try and pull the toes up. Like physio. But something she can walk in where we don't have to actually do physio with her. She can do it by just walking, which is awesome. This physio also got her Botox, which relaxes the muscles. So she was our little supermodel. And last but not least, this is my baby. If she knew I was crying right now, she would hate it. She didn't like people crying. I love you, baby. Okay, thank you for sitting through this. It's not an easy subject to talk about. But if you have any questions about cerebral palsy, just ask. I will answer it as best I can. I'm not an expert on cerebral palsy, but I've lived it. I've suffered with it. Well, not with it. Karsha's the one that had it, but the effects. Because I had to sit and watch her as a mother not be... Well, she didn't think she was disabled, but she literally was disabled, and I had to watch her grow up. What I did watch her. And there's nothing I could do about it. So, if you've got any questions, just let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer as best as I can. Thank you for putting up with this long video. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again in my next video.